Well, hello and good evening, everyone. We are coming to you from Foundation Field in Hamilton, Ohio. Still here in Southwest Ohio as we get set for another presentation of Xenia Scouts Baseball here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Alongside Riley Harshman, I'm Charlie Danis. Well, Riley, we got to come here earlier this year, and now we make another return trip to Hamilton. Always a fun atmosphere here at Foundation Field.
Here at Foundation is awesome. It's a really nice field. We've had great weather here, and it's just a really nice atmosphere. A lot of fans, concession stand all around us. You can smell the hot dogs and the burgers and everything. It just has that real good ballpark vibe.
So let's go ahead and get you the starting lineups for tonight's game. First for Xenia. At shortstop, batting leadoff will be Nick Tuttle. Truman Brown, the third baseman, will bat second. Caleb Eater, the first baseman, will bat first. Ryan Burlesman, the designated hitter, will bat fourth. Luke Borelson will be in left field. He'll bat fifth. Graham Welch, the center fielder, he'll bat sixth. The second baseman, Zach Bacon, will bat seventh. Chandler Chambers, he's in right field tonight, and he'll bat eighth. And Felix King, the catcher, he will bat ninth. Meanwhile, the starting lineup for Hamilton looks like this. Trey Compton, the left fielder, will lead off. The shortstop, Justin McConnell, will bat second. Griffin Dorsey, one of the best power hitters in the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League here in 2018. The designated hitter, he'll bat third. Chris Hamilton, the first baseman, will bat fourth. Sean McGee, in the center fielder, will bat fifth. Jared Koppman, the second baseman, will bat sixth. Tyler Thaman, the right fielder, bats seventh. The catcher, Michael Hall, will bat eighth. And Addison Coffey, the third baseman, will bat ninth. On the mound tonight for Hamilton will be the right-hander, Chris Murphy. He will oppose the Xenia right-hander, Thomas Flesser. Riley and I will take a quick break. Pretty soon we will have the national anthem, and then we'll have baseball here in Hamilton, Ohio. Scouts taking on the Joes here in Hamilton, Ohio. Coming. Well, the national anthem has now been sung here in Hamilton, which means that we're just about set to get ready for baseball here tonight here at Foundation Field. Again, alongside Riley Harshman, I'm Charlie Dan. So glad that we can have you along for the ride for another presentation of Xenia Scouts Baseball here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We look at the standings in the Southern Division entering play tonight. Cincinnati, the Steam, they continue to lead the division by one game with a record of 27-10. They own a one-game lead over second place Southern Ohio. In third place is Gallium, the Graders, and even 18-18 on the season, right there at 500. And then right behind them are these Hamilton Joes. They're 9 games back of Cincinnati in the division, but only a half game behind Gallium for that third and final playoff spot within the Southern Division. Meanwhile, for Xenia, it continues to be really, really tough as of late, as they have now lost 20 of their last 21, and they enter play tonight in the basement in the Southern Division with a record of 9-28. They're only a half game behind Licking County, so perhaps if they're able to string a few wins together here before the end of 2018, they can avoid the cellar this season. So, Riley, at this point, Xenia just needs to put together some wins here. They could start here tonight against Hamilton.
Yeah, with the end of the year, they're out of the playoff race, but the thing that the Scouts can do is win a couple games, finish the summer strong. This is the last time they'll be playing with these guys probably ever again. I know some of them are teammates, so it's not the last time for all of them, but still, this is the last time they'll be together. So just got to leave everything out there and just try to get a couple wins, end the summer on a high note.
It promises to be a very pleasant night for baseball here in Hamilton. As we look overhead, blue skies, a few white puffy clouds out into the horizon, but nothing too threatening or anything like that. No rain is in the forecast, so we should be in for a very good night for baseball. As the Joes, they take the field here at Foundation Field. This is a very interesting field in that the infield is made up of turf, yet the outfield is of natural grass, natural dirt on the warning tracks. This is a field, as we get a good hand from Jason Lester, the acting manager for the Scouts. This is a field that, through a lot of donations from community members, it's a nice place for the Joes to play. It's a nice place for Little League teams to play and for other teams in the Hamilton area to play.
Yeah, and it's very well kept, too. I mean, the outfield grass, as you mentioned, it's real grass, and the outfield grass, it's cut to almost perfect length. I mean, it's almost the same length as the turf, and, I mean, the turf just looks very nice. It's one of the nicest fields we've ever been at here in the GLSCL.
So on the mound tonight for the Joes, it's the right-hander Chris Murphy. Murphy is a native of Mingo Junction, Ohio. He is 6'3", weighs in at 185 pounds, and he's a junior at Notre Dame College, not to be confused with the big Catholic school over in South Bend. As he continues to go through his warm-up tosses, we'll tell you about Murphy's numbers here in 2018. Record of 3-1, earned run average of 5.01, making his seventh start of the season. Murphy in 32 and a third innings pitched has struck out 28, and he has also walked 16. His last start came back on July the 13th. It's been a while since he's pitched. In that game, he gave up 4 runs, all of them earned on 7 hits, while walking 4 and striking out 2. That coming in an 11-7 win over the Clippers. First batter that Murphy will face will be Nick Tuttle, the shortstop. The first time this season we have seen Tuttle bat leadoff. And you know what? Why not? 378 batter, no homers, 17 knocked in. Great Lakes Summer Collegiate All-Star. As that pitch is inside for a ball. And we're underway here in Hamilton. Temperatures in the low 80s. It will continue to cool off as the night progresses. As the shadows start to creep in here a little bit at Foundation Field. Already a very nice breeze blowing throughout the ballpark. Makes for a very comfortable night here at the yard. Meanwhile, Murphy straightens back up on the mound as Tuttle awaits the 1-0. Here it comes, and this is popped up out of play as the count will now be even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Tuttle batting from the right side against the right-handed throwing Murphy. Murphy with a wind and the pitch. And that's in their first strike. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Acting manager for the Scouts continues to be Jason Lester. Meanwhile, the manager for Hamilton, that would be Mr. Adam Grissom. Here comes the 1-2. That is a call, strike 3 on the outside corner. Tuttle goes down looking, 1 gone. So now Truman Brown comes to the plate for Xenia. 232 batter, 2 homers, and 11 knocked in.
And Brown's batting average has really been trending up ever since Connor Regan left back to school. So Truman Brown's been filling the void in the Scouts offense.
Brown takes a strike for the right-hander Murphy. Hamilton going with their red jersey tops, black numbers, black words, or letters, I should say, outlined by yellow on the jerseys and gray pants. As Brown fails to check his swing right there, and now he's in an 0-2 hole. Meanwhile, for the Scouts, they're in their gray pants as well, and they are sporting their Columbia blue jersey tops, Scouts across the front, and navy blue numbers outlined by white. Here's a ground ball to third base. The throw to first, way over the head of everybody. That wasn't even close to the first baseman. It goes into the Scouts' dugout, out of play. And so Brown will instantly move up to second on the play. Boy, oh boy. I don't know what happened there with the throw by the third baseman, Addison Coffey, but not even Kareem Abdul-Jabbar could have caught that ball.
Yeah, it looked like Coffey released that ball a little early in his arm slot. That's what causes those balls to sail. You release the ball early, it just goes straight up.
So that'll be an E5 on the play. And the Scouts now have a runner in scoring position with one gone. Coming to the plate now for the Scouts, one of their more consistent hitters, Caleb Eater. Checks in with a .306 batting average, a homer, and 9 knocked in. Eater exchanging pleasantries with the starting catcher, Michael Hall. And now Eater's ready to go to work here offensively. Brown off a second. Here's the pitch. Eater swings and lifts a high fly ball out to center field. Under it and making the catch is McGeehan, as Brown will tag all the way to third on the play. 2 gone in the inning. So now Ryan Bertelsmann will come to the plate. Bertelsmann, .333 batter, no homers, 11 knocked in. Has a chance to give the Scouts an early 1-0 lead if he's able to drive in Brown right here. Truman taking his lead off of third. Meanwhile, the right-hander, Chris Murphy, in the stretch. He delivers. That's down low for a ball. 1-0 the count. The dimensions for Foundation Field look like this. 330 down the left field and the right field line. And it is 390 to dead center. Somewhere in the vicinity of 370, 375 in the power alleys. Here's the pitch. That's down low. 2-0 the count now on Ryan Bertelsmann. Bertelsmann, the Baylor product, red-shirted for the Bears, and he's expecting to have a big year by the time he gets back to Waco in time for next season. The pitch. That's in there for a strike. Count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Foundation Field, always a very fun atmosphere. They have bleachers set up for fans along the third base and the first base line. You're also free to bring a long chair as well. Right outside of the netting, we see plenty of fans doing that. Here's a ball in the hole. Jump throw over to first. It's not going to be in time. It's an infield single for Ryan Bertelsmann. An RBI infield single, as a matter of fact, for Bertelsmann, as the Scouts get out to a 1-0 lead.
That's just one of the many reasons why Bertelsmann's so dangerous. He's so quick on the base paths, always really has a tendency to hit it in gaps in the infield, and the shortstop McConnell making a good play on it, not letting it get to the outfield, but ultimately he had no chance of getting Bertelsmann.
So 1-0 lead for the Scouts after the RBI infield single by Ryan Bertelsmann. And now Luke Boylston will come to the plate. Boylston will take a pitch down low. Luke batting .278, a homer, and 9 knocked in entering play tonight. Joe's infield, outfield. Playing straight up with Boylston up at the plate. 1-0. That's in there for a strike. Catches the inside corner. 1-1 the count on Luke Boylston, the University of Dallas product.
We've seen Boylston get a hold of a few balls with this summer with the Scouts, and when he gets a good swing on it, look for that ball to fly.
The pitch. That's outside for a ball. 2-1 the count now on Boylston. 2 gone here in the top half of the first, and a run already in for Xenia. 1-0 lead for the Scouts. Murphy, meanwhile, trying to limit the damage as Bertelsmann takes his lead off of first. And he's always a threat to steal a bag, is Bertelsmann. He's going. Pitch inside for a ball. And Bertelsmann has that stolen easily as the ball will roll into center field. But the center fielder, that being McGeehan, backing up on the play. So Bertelsmann will stay put at second. That is now the 20th stolen base of the season for Ryan Bertelsmann. Boy, he has been making a living out there stealing those bags.
And when you look at Bertelsmann's stats, he doesn't hit too many extra base hits, yet his batting average is .333. So he usually comes, when he gets a hit, he's usually on first base. So he's always trying to steal that bag and try to put himself in scoring position.
The pitch down low. Nice block that time by the catcher, Hall. As the count will now move to 3 ball. No, actually, that was a walk, excuse me. Luke Boylston will head on down the first. So now runners at first and second. Still 2 out in the inning. And now Graham Welch comes to the plate. Welch, a .242 batter. A homer and 10 knocked in. Murphy delivers. Welch swings and misses at that one. Welch swinging it from the left side. The pitch. That's outside for a ball. 1-1 the count on Graham Welch. Scouts already have a run in here, but they'd love to add to more of it. After Burlesman was able to knock in a run via a infield RBI single. By the way, give Burlesman 12 RBIs on the year after doing that earlier this frame. 1-1. Welch swings and misses at that one. Count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Shadows continue to creep in, particularly from the left side. But for right now, we still got plenty of sunlight here in Hamilton. Here comes the 1-2. Welch checked his swing. They appeal, and apparently he did so. 2's across the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away here in the top half of the first. Xenia already leading 1-0 thanks to an infield RBI single by Ryan Bertelsmann, but they got runners at first and second. Graham Welch looking to come through here for the boys from Xenia. Murphy straightens up on the mound. Looks back at second. The 2-2. Welch swings and fouls it away. Count will stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Welch. Zach Bacon waiting on deck for Xenia. Welch windmilling the bat around. He is waiting on the 2-2 offering for Murphy, and now Murphy will step off the pitching rubber, and now he'll get back on. Welch will tap home plate. Here comes the 2-2. That is down low, so now we will go full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Do you send the runners here on this pitch?
I think you got to send the runners, especially with Welch. He's been fouling off a few pitches. He's right on Murphy here, and you got to think if Murphy gives him a fastball in the zone, Welch might make some pretty good contact with it.
Murphy straightens up on the mound once again. Here comes the payoff pitch. That is foul, tipping the catcher's mitt, strike 3. Welch goes down swinging. But the good news is the Scouts are able to get a run on a hit. They leave a couple men on base. It's Xenia 1, Hamilton coming to bat here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Xenia 1, Hamilton coming to bat here in the bottom half of the first. Thomas Flesser, the right-hander on the mound for Xenia. Native of Sunbury, Ohio, 6'5", 210-pound sophomore out of Ohio Northern University. He has a 2-2 record, earned run average of 8.89, making his 5th start of the season for the Scouts. In 29 1/3 innings pitched, he has struck out 33, and he has walked 18. The first batter that he will face tonight is the left fielder, Trey Compton. And how appropriate. His walk-up music is straight out of Compton. I think it makes sense, right?
I was just about to add to that, fitting that Compton's walk-up song is straight out of Compton.
The pitch. That's inside for a ball. Compton hitting .310. No homers and 60 knocked in. Actually, that was a strike, excuse me. So the count is 0-1 on Compton. Pitch is inside for a ball. Now, I want to clear something up. Compton is technically not straight out of Compton. He's originally from Mount Prospect, Illinois. But I get it. There's a connection there with the song's title. As that pitch is outside for a ball. Compton, a 5'10", 175-pound senior at Elmhurst College. Batting leadoff for the Joes tonight. The count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes Flesser with the pitch, and that is just inside for a ball, as the count is now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Flesser likes to work quickly on the mound, and he'll now quickly get back to it. 2-2. That's up high. So now we'll go full 3-2. Justin McConnell, Joe's shortstop, waiting on deck. Joe's dugout located to our left. Scout's dugout located to our right. Compton now swings, and that'll be fouled out of play. Now, one interesting change that we have not seen this season, we're seeing Felix King catching behind home plate. We've seen King a lot at first base this season. So that pitch is up high for a ball, and Compton earns himself a walk to begin the bottom half of the first. Saw King catch a little bit, Riley, during the doubleheader at Licking County a couple weeks ago, but that was probably more so because Xenia was lacking some bodies and needed a guy to catch behind home plate, as one of those games really got out of hand. So it'll be interesting to see what King brings to the table behind the plate as now McConnell digs in.
Yeah, especially with the whole arm. Let's see how Felix's arm can throw it down to second, see if he can pick some guys off.
Pitch, and that's outside for a ball as McConnell pulled back the bunt attempt in time.
And also fielding the catcher's position. It's a lot different than being in the field, especially with bunts like McConnell just tried to lay down there, and also pop-ups behind home plate. They're different. You have to track them differently.
Flesser, meanwhile, straightens up on the mound. Here comes the pitch. This is bunted foul off to the right. 1 ball, 1 strike on Justin McConnell. McConnell on the season. Homer, 28 knocked in. And that homer, his first of the year, came last night. 2-run homer. As the Joes were able to defeat the Scouts last night by a final of 6-4. And now Flesser will step off the mound, heading back to first. It's Trey Compton. Now Flesser ready. Here's the 1-1. Compton running, and a ball hit in the left center. Compton will race all the way to third. After taking off before the pitch, it's a single in the left field for McConnell. And boy, already the Joes are in business here offensively with runners at the corners and nobody out.
Yeah, McConnell did something there we like to call a butcher boy, where he squares around for a bunt and pulls the bunt back and swings at it, and he did a great job of it. Compton was running on the pitch, so also a little hit and run action going on there too, and just a very good baseball maneuver there by head coach Adam Griffin.
So now Griffin Dorshin will come to the plate. Well, we talked about how this guy has been an offensive juggernaut here in the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League in 2018. 306 batter, 12 homers, and 40 knocked in. And now the runner is going, and that'll be an easy stolen base right there for McConnell. So now Dorshin instantly has runners in scoring position at second and third. Don't know what the mix-up was right there with Flesser, but now he's really going to have to bear down. The pitch as Dorshin will foul that back. Dorshin, kind of a throwback player in that he doesn't use batting gloves, and he has a very interesting-looking bat, too. Light brown top. The middle of it looks like light green, and then the handle itself has a little black and a little pink as well. Talk about a multicolored bat. Flesser with the pitch. This will be a grounder over to Bacon. He's up with it. He'll throw on to first. Coming in to score will be Compton, and this game is instantly tied at 1 apiece.
And we said time and time again how the Scouts during this rough stretch have been able to get a lead sometimes early, then they just get rid of it, that they lose the lead the next half inning. It's been something that's been plaguing them the past few weeks.
So give Dorshin his 41st RBI of the season. And now Chris Hamilton will come to the plate. Hamilton hitting a very hot 361, 5 homers and 25 knocked in. He had a solo homer last night against the Scouts as that pitch is down low for a ball. So instantly Flesser is in a little bit of trouble. Already having given up 1 run, and he's got a runner at third with still only 1 out here in the frame. Flesser straightens up. The pitch up high for a ball. 2-0 the count now on Chris Hamilton, the first baseman for the Hamilton Joes. As pretty good crowd is on hand here tonight. Flesser delivers, and that's a fly ball in the left field. Oh, and a great catch by Luke Boylston. Unfortunately, coming in to score will be Justin McConnell. I'll go down as an RBI sac fly for Hamilton. A 2-0 lead for the Joes.
Yeah, great play by Boylston there. Had a great jump on that ball, and it was tailing away from him off the left-handed bat of Hamilton. And he just made a great full extension dive for it, made a great play. And although the run scored, at least he got the out.
So now Sean McGeehan will come to the plate. 291 batter, 3 homers, 60 knocked in. Here's a fly ball out to right field. Chandler Chambers giving chase, and he will make the catch for the final out of the inning. But 2 runs come across the plate on only 1 hit. No men are left on base in the end for Hamilton. But we head to the top half of the second with Hamilton leading Xenia 2-1 here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. What a great atmosphere for a baseball game tonight. Beautiful weather, very good crowd here at Foundation Field as we head to the top half of the second. Hamilton leading Xenia 2-1 alongside Riley Harshman. I'm Charlie Danis. This is Xenia Scouts Baseball here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. And now Zach Bacon, the second baseman, will come to the plate. Bacon, a 186 batter, no homers, and 12 knocked in. Murphy back to work on the mound for Hamilton as the pitch is down low for a ball. Well, we talked about this last night, about how Hamilton, named after the city of Hamilton's probably its most famous son, Joe Nuxall, the old left-hander. As that pitch is down low for a ball. Bacon with a 2-0 count now. Nuxall was a longtime player for the Reds and definitely a longtime broadcaster for the Reds. Boy, he and Marty Brenneman, they were the soundtrack of many people's summers for many, many years. As that pitch is down low for a ball, and Zach Bacon earns himself a walk to begin the frame. Chandler Chambers, the right fielder, now coming to the plate. Chambers, 250 batter, no homers and 11 knocked in. Nuxall with that long relationship with the Reds, just a class act, a standout guy that could be admired by anybody in our society, if you really think about it. The fans loved him. Players loved to talk with him, whether they were on the Reds or with opposing teams. A great ambassador for baseball. Swung on and missed. He's very much known for his broadcasting career, but Joe Nuxall, believe it or not, was a great athlete in his own right. Very well built. 6'4", 245 pounds. You think he was a great baseball player? He was also a standout football player and basketball player during his high school career in Hamilton. as that pitch is down low for a ball. I recently read a biography about Nuxall. One of the funny stories about his childhood that really struck me was he was a teenager, about 13 or 14 years old. And as the 1-1 pitch on the way to Chambers. And this is swung on, and this will be out of play. 1-2 the count of Chambers. One of the funniest stories I heard about Joe Nuxall while I was reading this book about his biography. He's a teenager, and they were working on some road work, pipe work, I believe. And because Nuxall was so big at the time, he was able to work with guys literally twice his age. It wasn't until the foreman came around a couple weeks later when he discovered that Nuxall was a teenager, he had to go up and said, "Son, I'm sorry. You've put in some great work for us, but we're going to have to send you home because you're too young for this." As that pitch is in there for a called strike 3, Chambers will go down looking. 1 gone. But that just goes to show you the behemoth, the man-child, so to speak, that Nuxall was at that time, and what led him to do something that continues to be a rather historical feat, pitching at the major league level at the age of 15 against the St. Louis Cardinals. That pitch is in there for a called strike. Nuxall was able to do this at a time where a lot of the standout ball players of that era were busy serving overseas, whether that was in Europe or in the Pacific Rim. And a spot opened up for Nuxall. He got one start against the Cardinals. Went back to the minor leagues for a while as the throw back to first. Not in time. Bacon back safely. Had to spend a lot of time in the minor leagues before finally getting back to the major league level. Put in a solid major league career. Then on to broadcasting. And as they say, the rest is history. Here's the pitch. And it is swung on. Popped up. Shallow right field. The second baseman will make the catch, that being Coppin for the second out. So Felix King retired on the pop out. And now back to the top of the order for Xenia, that being Nick Tuttle, who struck out looking his first time up. It's a 2-1 game. Joe's leading the Scouts by a run. Bacon still over there at first. Let's see what Tuttle can do in this spot as the sun continues to dip below the horizon here in Hamilton. The pitch, and it's fouled at the plate. I'll share you a good Joe Nuxall story that involved me when I was a kid. I remember going to Great American Ballpark one night with my dad. I was celebrating my birthday at the time, and Dad was able to get these great seats behind home plate. And it was Joe Nuxall bobblehead night. They created a replica bobblehead of when he made his major league debut back in 1944 at the ripe young age of 15, as that pitch is down low for a ball. And during one of the innings, Joe Nuxall stuck his head out from the Reds broadcast booth and just started waving to everybody. And, you know, as a little kid, there are some things that like kind of strike you in a fun, odd way sometimes, using your imagination, et cetera, as that pitch is in there, or actually down low for a ball. And Nuxall made eye contact with me, waving. Nuxall had this amazing ability to connect with anybody, and that night I'll always cherish that memory. Just a great ambassador for baseball and for the Reds as that pitch is fouled off to the right. So now Tuttle working with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. 2 out here in the top half of the second of a 2-1 game. Joe's on top of the Scouts for the moment. Bacon will take his lead off of first. The pitch by Murphy. That's down low, 3-2. Now I would imagine, Riley, that they're going to have Bacon run on this next pitch.
Yeah, with 2 outs, full count, definitely got to run. And Tuttle's best per average hitter on this Scouts ball club, can hit with 2 strikes with the best of them. So if he puts one gap here, could be a little 2-out rally for the Scouts.
The pitch. Tuttle swings and fouls it off. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Tuttle making his way back into the right-handed batter's box as Truman Brown continues to wait on deck. Meanwhile, the right-hander Murphy straightens up on the mound. Here comes the payoff pitch. That's fouled off, so we'll do it again. As Bacon will have to trot on back to first base.
That was a good little breaking pitch there from Murphy, but Tuttle noticed the breaking ball, sat on a little bit, and was able to foul it off. Those pitches you don't really try to hit. But those are the pitches you try to foul off so you can get a better one in the next pitch.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch, and that's a called strike 3. Nick Tuttle goes down looking on strikes for the second time in this game, and that ends the inning for the Scouts. No runs, no hits, a man left on base for Xenia. We head to the bottom half of the second. Hamilton 2, Xenia 1 here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We head now to the bottom half of the second. Hamilton 2, Xenia 1. As the Joes come to bat once again. And we get to see Jared Kaufman, the second baseman. Kaufman bats from the right side. Native of Waynesville, Ohio. That pitch is inside for a ball. 1-0 the count. And how about this? Jared Kaufman, he's a sophomore at Eastern Michigan University. Thomas Flesser delivers, and that pitch is up high for a ball. The reason I highlight that is because that is the alma mater of our SID, Travis Waker.
Get to see a lot of action, a lot of MAC athletes in the GLSCL, and Kaufman's another one of them.
And the pitch is hit into right field. Chambers is under it. He'll make the catch. And that'll be the first out of the inning. So now Tyler Thaman, the right fielder, will come to the plate. Thaman, a right-handed batter. He is a senior at Miami University, Hamilton, native of Mason, Ohio. That's located outside of Cincinnati. So that pitch is fouled back. You know, Riley, I was talking a little bit about Joe Nuxall, his importance to the Reds as a broadcaster, and you're a Dodgers fan. You got to listen to perhaps the best baseball voice of all time in Vince Scully. As Flesser looks in for a sign, he'll now rock and deal the 0-1, and this will be fouled off to the right. I think more than any other sport in North America, I think it is baseball where the radio broadcasters, they get to be true stars. In fact, in many cases, they get to be bigger stars than the players on the field.
They can be, and a guy like Vince Scully, who started in Brooklyn with the Dodgers.
That's called strike 3 on the outside corner, 2 gone. Sorry about that.
No, you're okay. But made that move from Brooklyn to LA, and just over 60 years of service. You know, the Dodgers organization, had a great voice, just really set the scene. It was like poetry every time he opened his mouth, and it just awesome listening to him for as many years as I did. Wish I could have listened to him more, but I mean, those guys. I mean, like Harry Carey with the Cubs. There's just so many really good baseball announcers.
That pitch is down low for a ball. I'll share a real quick story for you about Vince Scully. I read this somewhere a couple years ago. So Vince Scully, the Dodgers were a really good team in the 60s. So that pitch is up high for a ball, and everybody listened to Vince Scully back during the Dodgers' heyday of the 60s. There was this one time during a game where an umpire was celebrating a birthday, and Scully was looking for something to talk about in a game that was moving slow. It was a blowout win for the Dodgers, I believe, as that's fouled off to the right, 2-1 the count. So the Dodgers are Scully's about to go to commercial break, and before he does, he tells his listening radio audience, 1, 2, 3, wish this particular umpire very happy birthday. as that pitch is on the outside corner. 2-2 the count now on Michael Hall. Well, everybody had a transistor radio back then, and everybody would bring the transistor radio to Dodger Stadium. So they did that in the middle of the game, and you could hear the birthday celebration reverberating throughout Dodger Stadium as that pitch is down low for a ball. The umpire looks up thinking, whoa, what did I do? But that was the power of Vin Scully. He was beloved in L.A. as that pitch is inside for a ball, and that'll be a 2-out walk for Michael Hall. But just go across the map. You know, if it was Joe Nuxhall for Cincinnati, it was Vin Scully for the Dodgers. If it was Scully for the Dodgers, it was Ernie Harwell for the Tigers. Harry Carey was with the Cardinals and the Cubs for a long time. Jack Buck was a great voice for St. Louis. Baseball broadcasters, as long as they do a good job of entertaining the folks at home and do a good job of calling games, the fans will appreciate you. And it's not even work. It's so much fun. Riley and I have certainly enjoyed broadcasting games for the Scouts this year. Yes, I know it's been a tough year from a win-loss standpoint for the Scouts, but you know we've been making the best of it. Here's the 0-1 to Addison Coffey, and Coffey will send a fly ball out to center field. Welch will make the catch. No, he dropped it. Welch drops the ball. They're going to send the runner around third. Hall is going to score on the play as it's cut off by Flesser. Boy, a tough break there for the Scouts. Drop ball by Welch out there in the outfield, and now it's a 3-1 lead for the Joes.
With that ball hanging in the air as long as it did and 2 outs, you know, Michael Hall didn't stop running. He just kept running because that's what you do with 2 outs. You run on anything. You keep running until someone tells you to stop, and that's what Hall was doing. And when Welch made the air, he was rounding third, so he had a pretty easy trot into home.
So E8 on the play as Coffey is able to move up to second on the catching error by the center fielder, Graham Welch. Flesser with the pitch. And this will be a ground ball out to short. Tuttle. Throw to first will be in time. And that'll be the end of the inning. But Hamilton is able to tack on another run. Way to the top half of the third. It is Hamilton 3, Xenia 1 here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Top half of the third here at Foundation Field. It is a 3-1 lead for the Hamilton Joes as the Scouts come to bat once again here. Truman Brown, his first time up, he reached on a throwing error by the third baseman Coffey. Later came around to score on an RBI infield single by Ryan Bertelsmann. Let's see if Truman can get on base once again. Here's the pitch, and this will be a ground ball up the middle. Throw to first will be in time. Nice play to his right by McConnell. One gone. To his left, excuse me.
Yeah, good play there by McConnell. You know, shortstops, they have to cover so much ground, so their range really has to be big. And McConnell having good range there, making it all the way to second base and making that throw.
Heater. Now coming to the plate once again for Xenia. He flew out to center his last time up. Here's the pitch. That's down low for a ball. Riley, you're absolutely right about that. You can have the best glove in the entire world, but if you don't have range, if you're not able to go to your left and to your right, more often than not, you're not going to be successful at shortstop, as that pitch is down low for a ball. That is why shortstops are often rated as the number one athletes on a baseball team. Pitch is down low for a ball. It's amazing. You go back over the history of baseball, you will find a lot of players who were originally shortstops before making the transition to another position, whether that be as another position player or another pitcher. As that pitch is in their first strike, 3-1 the count on Caleb Eater. Here's the 3-1, and that is a call strike on the inside, so now we'll go full 3-2. Billy Hamilton, for instance, before he became the speedy center fielder for the Reds, he started out as a shortstop in their minor league system. That's down low for a ball, or actually a swung on and missed by Eater. They'll complete the strikeout with a throw over to first, 2 gone. To me, the most interesting conversion when it comes to a shortstop going to a different position. So we were talking about this guy last night, actually, Riley. Trevor Hoffman, one of the greatest closers of all time, started off as a position player in the Reds farm system of all places, then got converted to a pitcher. And as Burlesman takes a pitch down low, he figured out the palm ball, the changeup. And from there, he was able to make it a Hall of Fame career, going on to much fame with the San Diego Padres. That'll be a base hit in the left field. Second single of the night for Ryan Burlesman. He's 2 for 2.
And Burlesman just doing what he does best. He's been hitting into the gas in between shortstop and third and the second and first baseman all year, and that's how he's been getting a lot of his singles.
So now Luke Boylston will come to the plate. Boylston walked his last time up. And Boylston certainly has the power in his bat to potentially tie this game. Scouts trailing Hamilton 3-1. The pitch. Outside for a ball. 1-0 the count on Luke Boylston. I just see one tiny puff of a white cloud up there. That's about it. Otherwise, it's gorgeous blue skies. As we are rapidly approaching the 8 o'clock hour. Throw back to first. Burlesman back in plenty of time. So far in this game, Hamilton 3 runs on a hit, an error in the field. Scouts 1 run on 2 hits and 1 error in the field. As the right-hander, Murphy, straightens up, now delivers. And this is popped up, foul, out of play. And we have an interesting angle for you coming from this game. We're located just to the right of home plate along the first base line. We get a very interesting yet close and intimate view of this game tonight here at Foundation Field as Murphy will now step off. And now he's back on the rubber. Now the throw back to first, and Burlesman back in plenty of time. It's a 1-1 count on Luke Boylston. 2 gone here in the top half of the third. Hamilton leading Xenia 3-1. But Boylston could change that with 1 swing. Murphy with a pitch. Runner going. Pitch inside. Burlesman with another stolen base. His 21st stolen base of the season. Boy, Ryan Burlesman.
And with Burlesman's base stealing abilities, he's a great athlete. Yeah, but it's his jumps from just getting a good jump from the pitcher's left leg moving up. As soon as he sees that front leg move, he's off.
So now here comes the 2-1 pitch. Boylston takes it. Now Burlesman taking off, and he'll be into third. Ball just got away a little bit from the catcher, Hall, but that gave Burlesman more than enough time to scamper on over to third. So now Boylston has a real good RBI opportunity here. 3 balls, 1 strike. 2 gone here in the top half of the third. The pitch. That swung on. That's an RBI single for Luke Boylston, as he sends it into left field. Nice job by Luke right there as he took the fastball, and he delivers with 2 outs. It's now a 3-2 game in favor of Hamilton.
Luke even hit the best part of the bat there. You could hear it off the bat. It didn't sound great off the bat, but he hit it hard enough over the third baseman's head into the outfield and got that run in.
So now Graham Welch will come to the plate. And Welch swings and hits a high fly ball out to right field. That's going to rattle up against the wall. Hustling around third is Boylston. They're going to send him home. Boylston will score. That's an RBI double for Graham Welch. And what a way to atone for the failed catch, the error that he committed in the previous inning. Graham Welch coming through offensively, and now we're tied at 3.
Yeah, and that's exactly what baseball's all about. You got to forget about your past mistakes. Leave it in the past. There's still plenty of game to play, and that's exactly what Welch's mindset was going up to the plate right there and hammered one out to the left center field wall.
So now Zach Bacon will come to the plate. He walked his last time up, so a brand new ball game here, 3-3 between the Scouts and the Joes. Baseball can be a tough sport, but depending upon what you're able to do with a pitch or with a bat, you can atone for your mistakes. That's what Welch was able to do right there. Nice job by Graham tying this bad boy up. Here's the pitch. That's inside for a ball. 1-0 the count on Zach Bacon. So how about this? RBI single by Luke Boylston, RBI double by Graham Welch, all coming with 2 outs. The pitch. That's outside for a ball. 2-0 the count now on Bacon. So 3 straight 2-out hits have allowed Xenia to score 2 runs in the inning. Here's the 2-0. Bacon swings. Fly ball out to right field, and it will be caught for the final out of the inning. But the good news is Xenia is able to push across 2 runs on 3 hits. They do leave a man on base. We head to the bottom half of the third. Hamilton and Xenia knotted at 3 here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Let's now head to the bottom half of the third. We're tied at 3. Hamilton and Xenia battling it out here at Foundation Field. And now Justin McConnell will come to the plate. McConnell with a single, also scored a run back in the first. Pitch. It's inside for a ball. Nearly hit McConnell on the belt buckle that time. So 1-0 the count on the Joe shortstop. 2, 3, and 4 hitters scheduled to bat here for Hamilton. And McConnell, Dorsheen, and Hamilton. As that pitch inside. 2-0 the count.
dangerous pitcher.
Pitch at the knees for a strike. 2-1 the count now. Here's the 2-1. Grounder over to third. Brown up with it. The throw to first will be in time for the first out. So now Griffin Dorshin has come to the plate. Well, for all the accolades that Dorshin has racked up here in 2018, he has been very, very quiet against the Scouts. He went 0 for 5 last night with 3 strikeouts. And tonight does have an RBI, but it came on a ground out to second. So the Scouts have been able to hold the big man in check. As that pitch is at the knees on the outside corner for a call strike. 0-1 the count. Field is completely, well, not completely covered by shadow, but a lot of it covered by shadow. It's still a sun field out in center and in right. The pitch. This is a ground ball out to short. Tuttle has it. Throw to first in time. 2 gone. So now Chris Hamilton will come to the plate. He had an RBI sac fly back in the first inning. Left-handed bat. Dorshin and Hamilton have been a potent 1-2 punch for this Joe's offense in 2018. A Joe's squad that still has an opportunity to make the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League playoffs with just a couple more games to go. Regular season ends on Sunday.
That can be added motivation for the Scouts as well. Like this team has a chance with a win against you to make the playoffs, but make it a little harder for them.
Here's a fly ball out to left field. Boylston making the nice running catch. And the inning is over for the Joes. Hamilton goes down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the third. We head to the top half of the fourth. Hamilton 3, Xenia likewise here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network.
Dirk re-signed with the Mavericks, so he's about to be his 21st year with the Mavs. That's nuts. You don't see that. Not many guys can say they got drafted by the same team they retired with.
We now head to the top half of the fourth here at Foundation Field. Xenia and Hamilton tied at 3 alongside Riley Harshman. I'm Charlie Danis. This is Xenia Scouts Baseball here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Chandler Chambers will lead things off for the Scouts. 8, 9 one-hitters scheduled for Xenia in this frame. Murphy's still out there on the mound for the Joes, and in just a moment, I'll get you scores around the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League as Murphy delivers a first pitch strike. And don't worry, we'll get to tonight's trivia question as well. And it'll be coming up here rather shortly. 0-1 pitch. Down low for a ball. 1-1 the count on Chambers, who struck out looking his last time up. Scouts definitely showing some fight in this game with a couple of key 2-out hits coming back in the third. So now they have this game tied. Let's see if they can grab their first. Well, actually, they did have a 1-0 lead. Let's see if they can reclaim the lead Here's the 2-1 pitch. Chambers with a grounder. Out to short. McConnell up with it. Throw to first. And it brought the first baseman off the bag. Pulled it off. And Chambers, with his great speed, is able to beat it out. That'll probably go down as a throwing error on McConnell.
Yeah, I've said it time and time again. That speed going down that first base line can really put pressure on the fielder, put pressure on McConnell there. Saw Chambers was nearing the bag. He rushed his throw. The throw was inaccurate. So Chambers got aboard safely. Now the Scouts have some wheels on the base path.
And now coming to the plate is Felix King. He popped out to second his last time up. And boy, Felix has been in a little bit of a funk lately as that pitch is outside for a ball. You know, talked about this a couple nights ago. Of all the guys on this scout squad that you really root hard for, Felix King is one of those guys. Nice guy. Has treated Riley and I with complete respect, covering him this summer in 2018. And the ball gets away. The right-hander Murphy was wild, and it got past his first baseman Hamilton. And now the Scouts, they have the potential go-ahead run in scoring position. So a 1-ball, no strike count on Felix. Getting back to Felix for just a moment. We're just hoping, we're wishing that this guy can get a big hit. And now he has an opportunity to get a big hit right here. The pitch. Felix was called upon to bunt that time, but he pulls it back. So now it's a 2-0 count on the Scouts catcher, Felix King. We've often referred to him as the Scouts first baseman. He split time over there with Caleb Eater this year, but tonight he's behind the plate. The 2-0. Bunt. Foul down the first base line. So now it is a 2-ball, 1-strike count on Felix King. King back in the batter's box. Waiting on deck for Xenia is Nick Tuttle. Just mere feet away from us. Here comes the 2-1. This is a bunt up the first base line. It will be fair. And King will end up getting tagged out. So successful sacrifice bunt, as now Chambers is over to third with one gone. And now Nick Tuttle, the man who possesses the best batting average on this scout squad, comes to the plate.
He's also leading in RBIs. He's got prime opportunity right here. Hasn't been a great start for Tuttle, but at any point you can turn your day around.
So Chambers at third. Murphy now getting set to go to work against Tuttle here. The pitch. That's down low for a ball. Riley, by the way, while we have a chance, let's share tonight's trivia question.
Trivia question. Which of these Hall of Fame greats never played minor league baseball? Your options are Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Steve Carlton, and Al Kaline.
The pitch. That is fouled off to the right. So now it is a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Tuttle. And Nook looking to turn it around here at the plate. He has struck out looking not once but twice so far tonight. 0 for 2. Tuttle just looking to put the ball in play here. The pitch. That is at the knees. So now it's 1-ball, 2-strike count on Tuttle. Chandler Chambers sitting over there at third as the Scouts are looking to reclaim the lead. It's a 3-3 game between these old Southern Division foes out of the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League, the Hamilton Joes and the Xenia Scouts. The 1-2. Tuttle swings and misses. Strike 3. He strikes out swinging for the third time tonight. 2 away. And so now Truman Brown will come to the plate. He reached on a error by the third baseman and scored in the first. And then he grounded out to short back in the third. Murphy straightens up. The pitch. And that's down low for a ball.
I mentioned it earlier, but around the time Connor Regan, who was a Scouts catcher for the first month or so of the season, when he went back to the school, really Jarrett Lindsey and Truman Brown had to take over catching duties, and Brown was batting below the Mendoza line, and now he's well above it.
1-0 pitch is fouled off. So now it is a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Truman Brown. 2 gone here in the top half of the fourth. A runner at third. The Scouts looking to go up by 1. Currently tied with the Hamilton Joes. A score of 3-3. Murphy sets at the belt. The pitch. Brown swings. High fly ball out to center field. This should end the inning, and it does. So the Scouts are able to get a runner over to third, but they can't drive him in. No runs, no hits. A man left on base for Xenia. We head to the bottom half of the fourth. Still a 3-3 game between Hamilton and Xenia here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We're heading to the bottom half of the fourth here at Foundation Field. It is a 3-3 game between Hamilton and Xenia. Speaking of scores around the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League, here are some other scores around the GLSCL. They're in the bottom half of the fourth at St. Clair. Up in Canada, the Green Giants lead Irish Hills 2-0 in that one. Bottom half of the fourth at Lake Erie, the Monarchs trailing Grand Lake 2-0. Top half of the fourth at Muskegon, the Clippers lead the Lima Locos 2-0. Bottom half of the third, another 2-0 score, this time Licking County on top of Cincinnati. Boy, that would be the upset right there. As Flesser, delivers, and that pitch is fouled off and Sean McGeehan, the one who fouled it off. He's the leadoff man for the Joes this frame. Bottom half of the fourth at Galleon, the Graders trailing Southern Ohio 4-3. And finally, Saginaw leading Richmond 7-4. They're in the top half of the fourth over there in Saginaw. As this pitch is lifted into center field. Welch is under it. Graham makes the catch. 1 gone in the inning. And with that, as Jared Kaufman comes to the plate, let's go ahead and revisit tonight's trivia question.
Which of these Hall of Fame greats never played minor league baseball? And your options are Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Steve Carlton, and Al Kaline.
Yet again, another tough question, Mr. Harshman. As Kaufman strides into the right-handed batter's box. Okay. Gonna take a guess here. I will go with the Tigers' great Al Kaline.
You'd be correct, partner.
As this will be bunted out to the mound. Flesser, throw to first in time. 2 gone.
Just to tail off that trivia question, you were right. It was Al Kaline, and he won a batting title when he was just 20 years old. And other Hall of Fame greats who didn't play minor league baseball include Ernie Banks, Bob Feller, Sandy Koufax, Mel Ott, amongst others.
Wow. Yeah, sometimes there are rare instances where players, they don't play a single game in the minors, and yet they go on to have successful major league careers. So that pitch is in there for a strike to Tyler Thaman. I remember Mike Leake, the right-hander. He was a former first-round pick of the Reds, and still going strong at the major league level, as a matter of fact. As the pitch is swung on and missed by Thaman, he's in an 0-2 hole. And Leake didn't throw a single pitch in minor league ball. So it happens from time to time as that pitch is up by for a ball. It's even more rare that that player who doesn't play minor league baseball goes on to be a Hall of Famer. 1-2. Here's a fly ball out to center. Welch racing in. He'll make the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Thomas Flesser. We've played 4 here at Foundation Field. As we head to the top half of the fifth, it's a 3-3 game between the Joes and the Scouts here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We're heading to the top half of the fifth here at Foundation Field, a 3-3 game between the Scouts and the Joes. And I want to take this opportunity to pass along some scores at the Major League level. Earlier today, the Cubs triumph over the Diamondbacks in a pitcher's duel 2-1. Mariners edge the Giants by a score of 3-2. Tigers double up the Royals 8-4. Nationals defeat the Brewers 7-3 in Milwaukee. The Indians blanked the Pirates today, 4-0. That snapped a 12-game winning streak for the Buccos. Phillies, 7-3 winners over the Dodgers. The Reds, they beat the Cardinals 7-3 in Cincinnati today, as Caleb Eater will step to the plate. The Mets get by the Padres 6-4, and the Rays beat the Yankees 3-2, as that pitch is in there for a strike to Eater, 0-1 the count. They're in the top half of the 11th in Toronto. The Blue Jays trailing the Twins in that one 7-6. As Eater attempts to check his swing, they will appeal down, and he did check his swing. They've just gotten underway in Arlington, Texas. Rangers playing host to the Athletics. No score in that game. A rain delay in Baltimore. The Red Sox leading the Orioles 5-0 in the top half of the second in that one. Coming up at 8:40, the Rockies play host to the Houston Astros. As Eater swings and promptly sends a base hit into center field. Leadoff man gets on. Eater gets his first hit of the night. And then finally, coming up later on this evening, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Yes, I know that is a mouthful. They play host to the Chicago White Sox beginning at 10:07.
Eater on that hit sat on the curveball that he struck out on his last attempt and sat on it, struck it very well out in the center field. So good job by Eater, learning from that previous at-bat.
Fifth hit of the night for the Scouts. Bertelsmann trying to bunt, and that will head back to the screen. 0-1 the count. Speaking of hits, Bertelsmann has got two of them, both singles. RBI single back in the first, and then a single back in the third. He was one of two runs to cross the plate for the Scouts back in that third frame. The pitch. That's inside. As Bertelsmann had to bend out of the way of that one. Now, we talked earlier in the game about how Hamilton has a chance to potentially move into third place. As Murphy delivers. Bertelsmann with a grounder. Stop made. Throw to first in time. What a dazzling play right there by Addison Coffey. One gone. Coffey flashing the leather that time down there.
That's such a great play. Made a great dive to make the stop, but then it's one thing to make a stop, especially at third base, is you got to make that long throw, and Coffey just hammered it over there to first base in time for that out. That was a very impressive play.
Eater moves up to second on the play, and now Luke Boylston will come to the plate. He had an RBI single his last time up. Also walked on the evening. Murphy with the pitch. Boylston swings, and that'll be a line out to second. The throw over to second. Eater off the bag. That's an inning-ending double play right there. No runs, a hit, and no one left on base for the Scouts. We head to the bottom half of the fifth. So a 3-3 game between the Joes and the Scouts here on the Senior Scouts Radio Network. Bottom half of the fifth here at Foundation Field. Still a 3-3 game between the Scouts and the Joes. Hamilton still in the playoff race. Half game behind Gallion, who's currently in third place in the Southern Division. And the Graders currently trailing Southern Ohio tonight. So if the Graders lose and the Joes win, it'll be Hamilton that'll move up to third place in the division. as that pitch is fouled off. But Xenia would like nothing more than to play the role of spoiler the rest of the way. They can do that with this Hamilton squad. They can certainly do it with the Steam the next couple of nights. As that pitch is down low for a ball. 1-1 the count on Michael Hall, who walked and scored his last time up. The pitch. That's on the outside corner for a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Hall. Hall, Coffey, and Compton, the scheduled hitters for Hamilton this inning. The pitch. And this is a high pop-up. Foul territory. Eater giving chase, and it will be out of play.
And Flesser these last couple innings has really been commanding his fastball a lot better than he did the first 2. And with that fastball command, it's going to be a lot easier for him to get outs.
So Hall now working with a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Flesser with the pitch, and that's inside for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And here's a fly ball. Out to deep right center. Continues to carry, and this will be extra bases for Michael Hall. He's racing around second. He's going to go for third. Throw into third will not be in time. As the throw got away from Truman Brown, and now Hall is down. Now he gets up. That ball might have hit him in the head. Brown not able to field that throw cleanly. And that will be a triple for Michael Hall. How about that? By the catcher, no less.
And with 2 strikes, Fletcher just left that fastball up in the zone, and Hall just put his best swing on it and sent it out into that gap. And with the infield playing it, or the outfield playing a little shallow on Hall, they had to do a lot of running to get that ball.
Addison Coffey now coming to the plate for the Joes. Pitch by Flesser. Swung on a miss, 0-1 the count. Coffey was the one who reached via a catching error by Graham Welch. Back in the top half of the third as that pitch is swung on a miss by Coffey. 0-2 the count. So just like that, Hamilton has a chance to go back up by another run. With that runner at third and still nobody out here in the bottom half of the 5th. Flesser looking to bear down here as the scouts have brought the infield in. The pitch. And that hit Coffey. Hit him between the M and the I on the jersey.
That's the last thing you want to do when you get a guy down 0-2 is hit him on that next pitch, and that's what Flesser just did. So now they got runners on the corners, and they're going to switch up their infield shift a little bit.
So now Trey Compton will come to the plate. Compton walked and scored his first time up and then grounded out to short. He is officially 0 for 1 on the night. Runners at the corners, still nobody out here for the Joes in the bottom half of the 5th of a 3-3 game between the Scouts and the boys from Hamilton. The pitch. That is just below the knees. A ball. 1-0 the count. Throwback. Nope, no throwback to first, but the runner, that being Coffey at first, back in plenty of time. Flesser now looks in for a sign from his catcher, Felix King. He has it. The pitch. That is in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. One of the neat things about ballparks, at whatever level they may be at, a lot of times the ballparks are nestled very well within the community, and that is the case with Foundation Field, nestled very nicely within this community of Hamilton, Ohio. As the runner retreats back to first after Flesser steps off the mound. A lot of residential homes that you can clearly see out beyond the left field wall. The pitch. And that's down low for a ball. There will be no throw to second, as that will be a stolen base for Addison Coffee. Now runners at second and third, with still nobody out here in the bottom half of the fifth. As I mentioned, residential houses out beyond the left field wall. We can see the steeple of a local church beyond left center as well. Plenty of trees. And this is also part of a local park. There's a local water park, actually, or fountains that kids can go to. As this will be a fly ball out to right field. Chambers makes the catch. Tagging from third is the catcher, and it is Hall who scores. Sliding in safely as the Joes retake the lead 4-3. Coffee stays put at second, and now Justin McConnell will come to the plate. McConnell singled and scored back in the first, and then followed that up with a ground out to third. Back in the third inning. McConnell with a lot of wrist tape. Some tape around the fingers. No batting gloves. The pitch. And this will be a grounder. Out to short. Tuttle up with it. Throw to first will be in time. 2 gone. Moving up to third on the play is Addison Coffee.
And a pretty fundamental play there by Tuttle, but it does become harder when that runner just runs right in front of you as that ball's about to come into your glove. You never know what can happen when you don't see the ball, but Tuttle, very good concentration, able to make that play.
So now Griffin Dorsham will come to the plate. He's been a ground-out victim not once but twice tonight. Grounded out to second in the first, grounded out to short in the third. So he is 0 for 2. And during this short 2-game set between the Scouts and the Joes, he is now 0 for 6. Just as I say that, he lines a single in the left field. That'll be an RBI single for Dorsham. His second RBI of the night. Scoring from third is Addison Coffee. And now it is 5-3 in favor of Hamilton.
You can't keep the big man down long. As you just said there, partner, he was 0 for 7 coming into this at bat, and right there with that single, but that's exactly what happens.
So now Chris Hamilton will come to the plate. Hamilton with an RBI sac fly back in the first. And a fly out to left back in the third. So 2 runs have crossed the plate for Hamilton here in the bottom of the fifth. As Jason Lester will now come out to the mound to talk with his right-hander Flesser. I think all in all, Riley, Flesser's been doing pretty well. It's just that, he's been nicked and dived a little bit by these little singles here and there by the Joes.
Yeah, just a few little singles here and there. 2 of the runs that have scored have come on via the walk. Also, that error by Welch scored a run earlier. But all in all, Fletcher's been doing a good job. Had a couple 1, 2, 3 innings. He's really kept his pitch count down and really kept the Scouts in this game.
By the way, with that RBI, Dorsham with his 42nd of the season. Hamilton, meanwhile, earlier in this inning with the RBI sac fly, 26. That pitch is outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. So 5-3, Hamilton back with the lead, up by 2. Here in the bottom half of the fifth. Flesser just looking to keep it at a 2-run deficit here for right now as that pitch is outside for a ball. 2-0 the count now on Chris Hamilton. Runner at first is Dorsham. And I think it's fair to say that the big man is not a big threat to steal. But, hey, you never know. Hamilton swings, sends a deep fly ball out to right field. It's an extra base hit for Hamilton. Dorsham is being waved around third. He's going to come around to score. An RBI triple for Chris Hamilton. And it's now a 6-3 lead for the Joes.
And I've said it quite a few times on this broadcast, when Flesser pitches, he has a tendency to leave his fastball up in the zone. He has a lot of velocity on his fastball too, so when you have that velocity, keep it up in the zone, good swing gets put on it, it's going to be extra bases almost every time, and that's what's been happening here on Flesser a little bit with the second triple he's allowed this inning.
Sean McGeehan, a flyout victim twice, 0 for 2 on the night so far. So a 3-run outburst for the Joes here in the bottom half of the fifth. Pitches in there for a strike to McGeehan. Seemed like Flesser was cruising along, and then all of a sudden ran into some trouble in the fifth, and still don't know whether or not this will be his final inning of work. Here's the pitch. It's down low for a ball to McGeehan. 1-1 the count. on the Hamilton Joe's center fielder. The pitch. Grounder out to short. Tuttle with the throw to first in time. And that'll be the final out of the inning. But not before Hamilton is able to push across 3 runs on a couple of base hits. They do leave a man on base. 5 innings in the books here at Foundation Field as we head to the top half of the 6th. It's Hamilton 6, Xenia 3 here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Top half of the 6th here at Foundation Field. Hamilton leading Xenia by a score of 6-3. Charlie Danis, Riley Harshman joining you tonight from Hamilton, Ohio. A place that loves its baseball, a place that loves its little league teams, that has had its fair share of natives go on to successful baseball careers, guys like Joe Nuxall, the man that Hamilton named its team after. Graham Welch will now take a pitch down low. From Chris Murphy, the right-hander, still out there on the mound, Riley, and you know what? He's done a solid job out there so far for the Joes.
Yeah, he's been keeping the Scouts at bay, only for 3 runs, and he's been getting some run support. We know this Joes team can hit, and he knew that as well, which is why he's coming to a groove. He's been really comfortable out there on the hill so far.
Welch takes a pitch outside for a ball. 2-0 the count on Welch, who was struck out swinging, and also had an RBI double. This will be a grounder into right field for a base hit. Welch with his second hit of the night. He's now officially 2 for 3 on the evening. So now Zach Bacon will come to the plate once again. Bacon has walked, and he's also flied out to right. Well, we keep talking about the Major League Baseball trade deadline. At least we have been over the last couple of days, and a major trade going down late last night as the Yankees were able to pick up former Orioles closer Zach Britton, adding yet another impact arm in that already strong Yankee bullpen. As that pitch is up high for a ball. We talked about this previously, but boy, that race in the American League Eastern Division is going to be very fascinating to watch coming down the stretch. The Yankees losing today at Tampa Bay. Boston looks to be in pretty good shape. They're up 5-0 over Baltimore, though they're in a rain delay over there at Camden Yards as Bacon swings and misses as the runner was going on the pitch, that being Graham Welch. 1-1 the count on the Scouts' second sacker. The MLB trade deadline coming up on July the 31st. And also a reminder, too, coming up this weekend, either during the game Saturday at Richmond or the season finale against Richmond over at Xenia, we'll be talking Major League Baseball, giving you predictions from us to see how this 2018 season will wind down. What will it look like in October? So we will definitely be doing that as the season ends, and hopefully by then Xenia will have picked up a few more wins before the end of 2018. Bacon now working with a 2-1 count against Murphy. The pitch, and that is a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Zach Bacon. Chandler Chambers waiting on deck for the Scouts. Murphy, the big right-hander, looking in for his sign. He has it. He'll now set at the belt. Here's the 2-2. Bacon swings and fouls it back to the screen. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bacon back in the right-handed batter's box. The pitch. That's in there for a call, strike 3. Bacon not entirely in love with that call, but he'll go down looking for the first out of the inning. So now Chandler Chambers coming to bat once again for Xenia. He struck out looking back in the second and reached on an error by the shortstop McConnell back in the fourth. The runner at first remains Graham Welch. Scouts trailing Hamilton 6-3 here in the top half of the sixth. And Chambers with a high fly ball out to right field. And that'll drop for a base hit. The right fielder, Thaman, raced in. Apparently he was playing Chambers very, very deep. And that ball just straight up died on its way down in right field. Chambers getting really lucky that time. And now the Scouts have a couple runners in scoring position here with only 1 gone in the inning.
I had a coach in high school call those dying quails, as it just, like you said, it just died. It just dropped straight down, but also seemed like there was some miscommunication issues because the center fielder, second baseman, and right fielder were all converging on that ball, and they all stopped and watched it land together.
That pitch outside for a ball. 1-0 the count on Felix King. Pop out to second and a sacrifice bunt back in the fourth. Murphy, the right-hander, sets. And he deals. That's outside for a ball. You know, Riley, I've also heard those referred to as, let's see here, a bleeder. And yeah, have you ever heard of the Texas Leaguer?
Texas Leaguer, yep.
No matter what you call it, Chambers will certainly take it.
All in all, they're little bloop singles, but exactly like you said, you'll take anything you can get.
2-0 pitch down low for a ball. So now it's 3-0 on Felix King. As Hamilton, the first baseman, will come in to talk with his right-hander Murphy. Murphy in real danger here of walking the bases loaded. Lights have been turned on here at Foundation Field. The field completely covered by shadow. Continues to be a beautiful night here as we're just a couple minutes past 8:30 here in the evening. The 3-0. King swings. That will be a base hit into center field for Felix. And it's going to roll all the way to the warning track. 1 run will come in to score. They're going to wave around Chandler Chambers. 2 runs come in to score for Felix King. He raises both of his hands in triumph right there. Got to feel good for Felix. That's his first hit in quite a long time. And now it's a 6-5 lead for Hamilton. Big hit right there by Mr. King.
Yeah, what a time for King to come out of his slump. We know King's got a lot of power, put that ball into the gap, and center field was unable to come up with it, rolled all the way to the wall, and King with a stand-up double.
So a 2-run double for Felix King. Boy, really got to feel good for Felix right there. We talked earlier in the game about how this guy couldn't buy a hit for the last couple of weeks, but comes through right there, and he knocks out Murphy. So a new pitcher will be coming in for Hamilton here. Scouts still batting here in the top half of the sixth. Hamilton 6 and Xenia 5 here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. New pitcher on the mound for the Hamilton Joes. His name, Danny Maddock. Maddock, a 6'3", 195-pound right-hander from Highland Heights, Ohio. He is currently a junior at Ohio Dominican University. Enters tonight's game with a record of 1-4. Earned run average of 4.50, making his 15th appearance of the season. In 24 innings pitched, he has struck out 16, and he has walked 16. A 2-run double by Felix King chased the starter, Chris Murphy, out of this game. It's now a 6-5 lead for Hamilton as the Scouts continue to bat here in the top half of the sixth. 2 runs have already crossed the plate. So Murphy's night is done. 5 1/3. He gives up 5 runs for them, earned on 8 hits, struck out 7, and walked 2. And now Nick Tuttle comes to the plate. King, representing the potential tying run, takes his lead off of second. Now let's see if Nick can turn things around here. He's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Maddock with the pitch. That's inside for a ball.
Tuttle, as you said, 0 for 3, and he would love to drive in his Masters College teammate over there at second, and Felix King.
Not only Master College teammates is King and Tuttle, but also Idaho natives.
Grew up together, as they told us over the weekend in Canada.
As the pitch is inside for a ball. 2-0 the count. Boy, that's really cool. You get to grow up with somebody during your childhood, and then you get to follow them to the same college, get to play on the same team, and now playing on the same summer ball team as well. Here's the 2-0. And this is swung on and grounded over to second. Throw to first will be in time as King will move up to third on the play. 2 gone in the inning. So with 2 gone, now Truman Brown will come to the plate. Well, let's see if Truman can come through in this big spot right here. Truman reached on an error by the third baseman and scored back in the first. Grounded out to short in the third, and then proceeded to fly out to center in the fourth. So he's officially 0 for 2 on the night. Brown batting from the right side against the right-handed throwing Maddock. Here's the pitch. That's inside for a ball. 1-0 the count. 6-5 game. Hamilton up by 1. Well, the Scouts looking to push across the equalizer here as King takes his lead off of third. Maddock with the 1-0. That's in their first strike, catching the inside corner. 1-1 the count. Well, the sun is set by now here in Hamilton. We'll be treated to nighttime here pretty soon as the pitch is fouled off to the left. Count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes on Truman Brown. Truman stepping back into the right-handed batter's box. Maddock, meanwhile, peering in for his sign. He has it. He'll come set. The 1-2. Brown swings. Fly ball out to left center, but the catch is going to be made by the center fielder McGeehan for the final out. But Scouts able to get 2 runs on 3 base hits. They do leave a man on base. We head to the bottom half of the 6th. It is Hamilton 6, Xenia 5 here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Bottom half of the 6th here in Hamilton. Joe's up by 1, 6-5 over the Scouts. As Jared Kaufman will lead things off here for Hamilton. He has flied out to right, and he's grounded back to the pitcher. This has been a nice back-and-forth affair between both of these Southern Division foes of the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League. Joe's with a win tonight could move up to third place within the division and move into playoff position. Meanwhile, the Scouts, well, they're just looking to get some wins before the end of the 2018 season, which will come to an end, believe it or not, coming up on Sunday. Plus, they're delivering a strike. Rock and deal. And that'll be fouled off. 0-2 the count now on Kaufman. Now, Riley, you were telling me during the break that Flesser, from a pitch count, he's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, he just threw a 70 pitch just now, and he's into the 6th inning, and it's a great job keeping his pitch count low. We've seen his pitch count really get up there. Against Grand Lake a few weeks ago, he threw 138 or so pitches and only 6 or so innings of work.
Pitches down low for a ball. 2-2 the count now on Kaufman. Kaufman back into the right-handed batter's box. Flesser with a pitch, and this will be a fly ball out to center field. Jogging backwards and making the catch is Graham Welch. 1 gone in the inning.
And that's exactly why Flesser's pitch count is down. He's been pitching to contact. He's been getting ahead early in counts, and when you get ahead early in counts, makes the hitter swing at pitches they may not want to, and you produce flyouts and groundouts like he just did there.
So now Tyler Thaman coming to the plate for Hamilton. He struck out looking, and he's also flied out to center, 0 for 2 on the night. He'll take a strike from Flesser. Boy, that fastball was delivered in there with some authority right there. 0-1 the count. Thomas looking in for his sign. He has it. Here's the 0-1. Bounces a fastball up there. That's what you like to call a classic 58-footer. 1-1 the count now on Thaman. Flesser back with it. And this will be a fly ball. Out to center field. It'll drop, and it'll head towards the wall. This will be extra bases for Thaman. He'll race around second, making a bid for third, and he will slide in there safely. That is the third triple of the night for Hamilton. They have been wearing out that right center field gap tonight. And now Michael Hall will come to the plate. Speaking of the devil, he was one of those guys that has hit a triple. And now a pitching change is going to be made by Jason Lester. The night is done for Thomas Flesser. We'll tell you about the new pitcher coming up here in just a moment. The Joes still batting in the bottom half of the 6th. It's Hamilton 6, Xenia 5 here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. New pitcher on the mound for the Scouts. It's the right-hander, Owen Pyatt. No record, earned run average of 12.17, making his 9th appearance of the season for Xenia. And in 17 innings pitched, he has struck out 20 and walked 16. Boy, he turned in perhaps his best performance of the season just last night. Pitched 2 innings against Hamilton. No runs, no hits, no walks, struck out 4. Riley, his fastball was humming up towards the plate.
Yeah, his fastball was impressive last night. It was definitely the best we've ever seen it. And Pyatt, his past few appearances have really contrasted to his first few. with the scouts, and he's just been doing a lot better. And like I said, that's what these summers are about. It's about getting better, perfecting your craft, honing in, and that's what Pye's been able to do recently. Let's see if he can continue that effort here.
So Pyatt is in for the Scouts, which means that the night for Thomas Flesser is done. 5 1/3, gives up 6 runs, 5 of them earned on 5 hits. Flesser struck out a batter, and he walked 2. Scouts trailing the Joes 6-5 here. They have a runner at third, does Hamilton, with only 1 gone in the inning. So now Pyatt's done warming up, as Michael Hall will come to the plate. Hall has walked and scored, and he has tripled and scored tonight. He's provided some good offensive production for the Joes from the number 8 spot in the lineup as he takes a pitch high and inside for a ball. 1-0 the count on Michael Hall. The pitch. And it's inside for a ball. 2-0 the count. Two-0 pitch. That's inside. 3-0 the count. Hall has a very interesting batting stance in that he bends a little awkwardly on his back knee, almost in a little bit of a sitting position, crouch position. 3-0. That's in their first strike. 3-1 the count. Remember Jeff Bagwell of the Houston Astros, how he looked like he was literally sitting in a chair? Worked out pretty well for him, though, as he had a Hall of Fame career with the Houston Astros. As that pitch is up high for a ball. Hall with a walk. Runners at first and second. 1 gone here in the bottom half of the 6th, as the Joes are looking to add to their 1-run lead, and now Addison Coffey will come to the plate. He reached on an error in the 2nd and was hit by a pitch in the 5th. So technically, if you go by the letter of the law in the rule book, he's 0 for 0 on the night so far. Does have a run scored. The pitch in their first strike. 0-1 the count, as Pye continues to pop the mitt with that fastball. The pitch. That's fouled off. 0-2 the count now on Coffey. Boy, when Pye first came here to the Scouts, he was very, very rusty, and that was putting it nicely. But since then, as he's gotten into the groove of things a little bit here with the Scouts, the stuff has gotten better. The location has gotten a lot better. As the pitch is up high for a ball, 1-2 the count. It looks as though that he's moving in a positive direction. For right now, he doesn't know where he's going to be playing his college ball, but I'm sure he'll find a happy new home in time for the 2019 season. The pitch. That is outside for a ball. 2-2 the count.
If Pye can continue to put on performances like he did last night in relief, they should be finding a school to play at in no time.
Got to know Owen a little bit during the trip to Canada. Very nice guy. As that pitch is inside for a ball. 3-2 the count now on the number 9 hitter, Coffey. Trey Compton waiting on deck for Hamilton. The runner at first is Hall. The runner at third is Thaman. It's a 6-5 lead for Hamilton, but they are looking to lengthen this lead a little bit. The pitch. This is popped up high in the air. Foul territory. And that'll be off the top of the Scouts' dugout. Felix saying he was close, but no cigar. So the count will remain at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hall will take his lead from first. Thaman will take his lead from third. As Coffey awaits the payoff pitch. Here it comes. That's swung on and missed. That's a clutch strikeout right there for Owen Pyatt. 2 gone.
He desperately needed that with runners on the corners, mainly that third base corner. It's the one I'm talking about, but the strikeout doesn't allow the guy on third to move, and now the Scouts have 2 outs and hopefully can keep that run from scoring.
So now Trey Compton will come to the plate. Compton with an RBI, sac fly his last time up. That coming back in the 5th. Pyatt with the pitch, and that's in there for a strike. Gets ahead 0-1 on Compton. The pitch. Down low for a ball. Now it's 1-1 on Compton. Scouts infield, outfield playing Compton pretty much straight away here. Well, the infield not a double play depth, excuse me. So that pitch is up high for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike on Trey Compton. Here's the pitch. This is popped up high in the air. In foul territory, Felix King will give it a look, but it's out of play. 2's across the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Here in the bottom half of the 6th, Hamilton 6, Xenia 5. Runners at first and third. Owen Pye looking to strand those runners right here, right now. Owen looking in for a sign from his catcher, Felix King. He's got it. The pitch. That's down low. Gets away from King. King, throw the home plate. It will not be in time as the run scores on the wild pitch by Pye. Coming in to score on the play is Thaman, and it's now a 7-5 lead for the Joes. Hall moves up to second on the play. It's now a 3-2 count for Compton. The pitch. Outside. That'll be a walk for Compton, his second of the game, and now we get to see Justin McConnell bat here in the bottom half of the 6th. McConnell with a single and a run scored back in the first, and then 2 ground outs, 1 to third and 1 to short. Officially 1 for 3 on the night. 7-5 lead for Hamilton as we continue play here in the bottom half of the 6th. Pye with a pitch. Down low. 1-0 the count. Hamilton, 7 runs on 5 hits. They've committed 3 errors in the field. Xenia, meanwhile, 5 runs on 8 hits. They have committed 1 error in the field so far tonight. 1-0. Outside for a ball. 2-0 the count now on Justin McConnell. Runners at first and second. 2 gone here in the inning. And a run already in for Hamilton. Pyatt would like to keep this at a 2-run deficit for his teammates. Pitch by Pyatt. And this will be a high pop-up. Bacon will give way to Chambers, the right fielder, who makes the catch to end the inning. A run crosses the plate for Hamilton on a hit. And leave a couple men on base. We head to the top half of the 7th. Hamilton 7, Xenia 5 here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network.
There you go. Congratulations. Thanks, everybody.
We head down to the top half of the 7th. Here in Hamilton, the hometown Joes leading the Xenia Scouts by a score of 7-5. Caleb Eater now coming to the plate for Xenia. A fly out to center, a strikeout swinging, and a single. Officially 1 for 3 on the night. Maddock The right-hander still out there on the mound, Danny Maddock, as that pitch is down low for a ball. 1-0 the count on Eater. Here's the pitch. And it skips in. And oh boy, that might have caught a bad piece of the catcher Hall as he comes up grimacing a little bit. I don't know if that hit his finger or part of his hand or what. Now he's flapping and fake waving.
Yeah, trying to restore blood flow to that hand. That's all you got to do. Those never feel good, but as any coach will tell you, it only hurts for a second. You got to shake it off, rub some dirt on it, get back in there.
The pitch. That's inside for a ball. 3-0 the count on Eater. So let me get this straight. You can rub dirt on it, but you can't actually rub it, if that makes sense, right? That's one of the rules of baseball, right?
Pretty much.
3-0 count. That's inside for a ball. Caleb Eater with a walk. And now Ryan Bertelsman comes to the plate. Bertelsman 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. Also has an RBI on the night. And now a visit out to the mound to check out Maddock. I think that's Eric Minchell out there. I'm pretty sure. For Hamilton. 7-5 game. Joe's up by 2 against the Scouts here in the top half of the 7th. Gotta tell you, the music selection here at Foundation Field is pretty excellent. They play all the classic hits here in Hamilton. As now the meeting is broken up on the mound. As Maddock will go back to work against Bertelsman here. Maddock with the pitch. That's inside for a ball to Bertelsman. 1-0 the count on Ryan. One-0 pitch. In their first strike. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike on Bertelsman. So 1-1 count on Bertelsman. He's waiting on this next pitch from Maddock as Maddock will take a look over at first to Eater. Now he delivers. Bertelsman will now swing and will send it out of play off to the right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, tomorrow night, the Scouts will be back home against the Southern Division leading Cincinnati Steam. That game is scheduled for a 7:05 first pitch, and then the Scouts will head down to the Queen City on Friday night. And that game is scheduled for a 7:05 start as well. Bertelsman swings and misses, strike 3. He has gone on strikes, 1 gone. So now Luke Boylston making his way into the right-handed batter's box. Boylston walked, singled and scored. Also had an RBI single in that at-bat back in the 3rd. And unfortunately lined into an inning-ending 6-4 double play, a line out to short. So that pitch is in there for a strike. A strike at the knees by Maddock. As Boylston gets back into the right-handed batter's box. The pitch. Down low for a ball. Runner at first, 1 out here in the top half of the 7th as the Scouts are trying to put together a rally here. It's been a high-scoring affair so far here at Foundation Field. Hamilton 7, Xenia 5. Maddox sets. Now he delivers, and that's down low. Nice stop in the turf that time by the catcher, Michael Hall. 2-1 the count now on Boylston. Eater not exactly fleet of foot, so we'd be very surprised to see him take off in this situation. 2-1. Boylston swings. High fly ball. Out to center field. McGeehan under it, makes the catch. 2 gone. So now Graham Welch has come to the plate. Graham has had a nice night offensively. RBI double back in the 3rd, and then single later came around to score in the 6th inning on that 2-run double by Felix King. So now Graham will be tasked to try to keep this inning going for the Scouts as Eder continues to sit over there at first. The pitch. That's outside for a ball to the left-handed batting Welch. 1-0 the count on the Texas native. There are quite a few Texas natives on this Scout squad. The 1-0 pitch. Welch swings and fouls it off to the left. One of those Texas natives happens to be acting Xenia manager Jason Lester. I was telling Lester and Dave Knob, one of the assistant coaches, earlier today, boy, it's hot. To which Coach Lester replied, Charlie, you need to come back with me to Texas. There's some real heat down there. Said that the temperature in Dallas today was 105. So that pitch is fouled off to the right. 1-2 the count. Doesn't matter if it's Texas heat, dry heat in Arizona. Hot is hot is hot. And to me, that's too hot. One ball, 2 strikes on Welch. The pitch. Fouled at the plate. Graham continues to hang in there tough at the plate as the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Maddock, the right-hander, once again peering in for his sign from his catcher, Hall. He has it. The 1-2. Welch swings and misses. Strike 3, and the inning is over for the Scouts. No runs, no hits. A man left on base for Xenia. Stretch time here in Hamilton. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Joe 7, Scouts 5 here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Owen Pyatt's still out on the mound for the Scouts as we begin play in the bottom half of the 7th. It is Hamilton leading Xenia by a score of 7-5, and now Griffin Dorshin coming to the plate. The big man has gone 1 for 3 tonight with an RBI single back in the 5th inning. 6'4", 265. That's how Dorshin is listed on the roster for Hamilton. It's a solid 265 as well. Pyatt with the pitch. That's outside for a ball. Pyatt quickly back at it. That's outside. Pyatt with a 3-0 count on Dorshin. Owen with the pitch. That's swung on and missed. 3-1 the count on Dorshin. The pitch popped up. And this will settle back somewhere in the bleachers. And, oh, boy, I almost hit someone in the head right there. So now the count is 3 balls, 2 strikes on Griffin Dorsey. Middle of the order coming up for the Joes here, 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Payoff. Fouled off. As Dorsey continues to stay alive. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes on Dorsey. The pitch. Fouled off once again. Dorsey hanging in there tough against Pyatt.
Pyatt's got to try to give him some off speed here. He's been pretty much throwing him straight heat, straight fastballs. Got to try to give him some off speed to get him off his timing a little bit.
Dorsey pops it up. Shallow left. Tuttle out there to make the catch for the first out. So Dorsey now 1 for 4 on the night. And now Chris Hamilton will come to the plate. Hamilton with an RBI sac fly in the first, a fly out to left, and a triple, RBI triple back in the 5th. Jason Lester now coming out to the Scouts mound. Talk with Pyatt a little bit. Asking how much more does Pyatt have left in the tank. So far, Owen has pitched pretty well tonight. A full inning, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. And it looks as though that a pitching change will be made. Diego Quinones will come in for Xenia. We'll tell you more about how his 2018 season has gone in just a moment as the Joes continue to bat here in the bottom half of the 7th. It is Hamilton 7, Xenia 5 here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. New pitcher on the mound for the Scouts. Well, that'd be the right-hander Diego Quinones. You've seen Diego a lot here in 2018. Quinones making his 9th appearance of the season. He has made 4 previous starts for the Scouts. 1-1 with an earned run average of 9.96. Making his 9th overall appearance of the year. 21 2/3 innings pitched. He has struck out 15, and he's walked 32. Last time out, in only 1 inning of work, gave up 6 runs, 3 of them earned on 2 hits, walked 2, struck out 1. So now Diego will go out there to try to keep this a 2-run deficit for the Scouts. Hamilton leading Xenia 7-5 here in the bottom half of the 7th. And by the way, we're so glad that all of you out there could join us for another presentation of Xenia Scouts Baseball here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Charlie Danis, Riley Harshman, coming to you from Hamilton, Ohio. Foundation Field, to be more precise. As Chris Hamilton will come to the plate. Quinones with the pitch. This will be a bunt foul down the third baseline. Hamilton with a little bit of speed. He was able to showcase that speed a little bit with that triple he had in his last at-bat.
Also, last night against the Scouts, bunted for a base hit. So we know he can do that to a good effect and try to do it right there.
So Hamilton will step right back into the left-handed batter's box. Quinones with the pitch. Hamilton will swing, and that's a hard liner. Caught by Nick Tuttle for the second out of the inning. So now Sean McGeehan up at bat once again. He's 0 for 3 on the night with a couple flyouts, and most recently, a ground out to short. Quinones rocks and deals. Here's a fly ball out to center field. Welch will make the catch. And that's the final out of the inning. So Diego does his job, retiring 2 batters. And that turns out to be a 1-2-3 inning for Hamilton. We head to the top half of the 8th. It's Hamilton 7, Xenia 5 here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. New pitcher on the mound for the Joes as we head to the top half of the 8th. Hamilton leading Xenia 7-5. The new pitcher on the mound for Hamilton is the 6'4", 230-pound right-hander, William McLean. He's a native of Mason, Ohio, and currently a freshman at Bowling Green State University. Comes in here with a record of 0-2. An earned run average of 6.31, making his 12th appearance of the season. Does have a save on the year. In 15 2/3 innings pitched, he has struck out 15. And he has walked 9. So that means the night is over for Danny Maddock. He goes an inning and 2/3, strikes out 2, and walks a batter while not giving up a run or a hit. And meanwhile, the night also done for Owen Pyatt since Diego Quinones came on in the last half inning. Pyatt ends up going a full inning, walks 2, strikes out 1. Gorgeous night for baseball here in Hamilton, Ohio. And all in all, we've been treated to a pretty entertaining ball game. I've always been a fan of the high-scoring affairs. Yes, I know there are a lot of people out there that like a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel, but hey, I've always been a fan of offense, and we have had plenty of that here tonight so far. So now Zach Bacon will come to the plate. Bacon with a walk, a fly out to right, and a strikeout looking. As McLean will go to the work, and that pitch is down low for a ball. Riley, I'm curious, are you a fan of the pitcher's duel, or do you like it when we get up over 5 runs?
I just love the game of baseball. I really don't have too much of a preference.
That pitch is swung on a miss by Bacon.
I love offense as much as anybody, but I also love to see 2 pitchers really going at it. It's just that either way, it's high-level competition.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That's in there for a strike. 1-2, the count. A 1-2. Bacon swings and hits a high fly ball out to left field. Compton under it and making the catch for the first out of the inning. Chandler Chambers making his way to home plate once again. He has struck out looking. He has reached on air, and he has singled and scored in this game. Officially 1 for 2 on the night thus far. Chambers looking to get on base and bring a potential tying run to the plate in this situation as the Scouts continue to trail by 2. Chambers swings. It's a ground ball to second, throw to first in time, and now quickly 2 gone here for Xenia. So now Felix King will come to the plate, and a feel-good moment for Felix his last time up as he was able to stroke a 2-run double into the left center field gap, scoring Chambers and Welch back in the 6th inning. That'd feel pretty good for Felix. So that pitch is in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Well, let's see if Felix can do something similar here. Perhaps get on base. Prolong this inning for the Scouts. Give Xenia a chance. The pitch. That's in there for a strike, and now King is quickly in a 2-strikes-to-nothing count.
Yeah, it definitely felt good for Felix to break his slump there. And like you said, you can build up off of that. Like when you break the slump, you can usually you get that confidence back. You see the ball land somewhere, it really helps your mindset coming up to the plate the next time you go.
Pitch up high for a ball by McLean. So now the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. McLean looks in for his sign, looking to finish King right here. Felix has other ideas. The pitch. That is fouled off to the right. That'll land somewhere near the Little League field, which is off to our right. Count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes on Felix King. Nick Tuttle waiting on deck for Xenia. The pitch. Up high. Once again, 2s across the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Here in the top half of the 8th. Hamilton leading Xenia 7-5. Here's the pitch. Felix with a grounder over to third. It's bobbled by the third baseman. Throw to first in time. That was a nice recovery that time by Coffey, the third baseman, as the Scouts go down 1-2-3 in the top half of the 8th. We head to the bottom half of the 8th. Hamilton still leading Xenia 7-5 here on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network.
Tonight's pot money. Tonight's pot is a total of $62. So have your tickets ready. And tonight's winner is number 1158459. Again, the number is 1158459. Any winner? All right. Well, if you won, make sure to come meet me at the top of the press box before your prize money. Thanks, guys.
What is it? Call it again. What's the number? Really?
One more time. The number is 1158459.
Gotta always have someone ready with the
Thanks again.
Yeah. It might be more. I don't know. I know Felix could be better. He was just running bad and stuff, but someone has to be ready to do it. The backup catcher, especially if he's not playing, that's his job. That's his job all day. What else are you doing? Go help your pitcher out.
Bottom half of the 8th coming here at Foundation Field. Hamilton coming to bat once again. Joe's leading the Scouts 7-5. Charlie Davis, Riley Hart. As Diego Quinones getting back out there. He was able to get the final 2 outs of the 7th inning. So he'll look to build upon that as he will go to work on the 6, 7, and 8 hitters up the batting order for Hamilton, that being Kaufman, Thaman, and Hall. Kaufman on the night is 0 for 3. Couple flyouts and also a ground out to the pitcher. Diego definitely pitching to better contact in the 7th inning and looking to continue that as his first pitch to Thaman is inside for a ball. 1-0 the count on the Joe's second baseman. The pitch down low for a ball. 2-0 the count on Kaufman. Kaufman taps home plate. The pitch. That is outside for a ball. 3-0 the count now on Kaufman. As Quinones is now in trouble of walking the first batter he sees here in the bottom of the 8th. The pitch. And that's inside to Kaufman. That'll be a walk to begin this inning.
Next inning, it will be the Scouts' last opportunity to score and try to get the hold of this lead. So Diego just wants to keep this deficit at 2.
Tyler Thaman now up at bat. Had a triple his last time up, that coming back in the 6th inning. Crowd continues to be lively here at Foundation Field. Here's the pitch, and did it hit the batter? Yes, it did. Thaman will head on down to first. Boy, things now going from bad to worse for Quinones here to begin the bottom of the 8th.
And unfortunately, it's not the first time we've seen this. We've seen Diego hit a lot of batters. We've seen him walk a lot too this summer. And, he had a good little 7th inning. Only threw 3 pitches, got 2 outs. He needs to refine that focus, refine that strike zone, and help the Scouts get out of this jam.
Michael Hall, the catcher's had a nice night offensively for the Joes. Couple walks, couple runs scored. Also had a triple back in the 5th inning. Pretty good production from your number 8 hitter today, tonight, that being Michael Hall. Now he's got a couple runners at first and second. Joe's up 7-5, but they would look to add insurance here as Hall will lay down a bunt. Quinones will gather it up. He'll throw to first for the first out of the inning as both runners move up a base. So Addison Coffey will now come to the plate. Coffey reached on an error. He's been hit by a pitch, and he's also struck out swinging, and he's also scored a run. A little bit of everything for Coffey tonight from the number 9 hole, who also turned in a sparkling play at third base down there at the hot corner. Here's the pitch, and that's swung on a miss by Coffey. 0-1 the count. Was not able to get on top of Quinones' fastball that time. Diego peers in for his sign. And now he's motioning for Felix to come out to the mound just to go over the signs. So now King will head back behind home plate. Oh, 1 count for Coffey. The pitch by Quinones. Curveball floats in there. A little high. It'll be a 1-1 count now on Coffey. Runner at second is Thaman. The runner at third is Kaufman. Here's the 1-1. Popped up, high, foul territory. Brown gives it a look, but it'll be out of play. One ball, 2 strikes on Coffey. Number 9 hitter, the third baseman for the Joes. As Hamilton looks to augment their 2-run lead here in the bottom half of the 8th. Diego has his sign from Felix. The pitch. This is popped up. And once again, it's out of play. Count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top of the Scouts batting order. We'll await whoever is pitching out there for Hamilton in the next frame.